Elsa, recently I seen a post um, of an individual who wants a lot of people respected, and now they seem to find themselves in a lot of trouble, which really got me to thinking about the mindset that a lot of us have. And one of the things that we have to understand and we always have to remember is that when we embraced wokenism or Odinism, we embraced it for a reason. And that reason really was supposed to be to change our mindsets, to change the way our life was heading. We had come to the point where we realized that our life was going in the wrong direction. We were on a path of self destruction. So we decided that by following the gods and following the goddesses, that this would change our way of thinking. But the problem that most of us have is that you can embrace wokenism, you can embrace Odinism, you can embrace any path in life you want to. And that path alone, the gods and the goddesses, following our ancestors, this path alone will not change you. It will not make you a better person. Now, some of y'all might be thinking, oh, wait a minute, brother. Kondo, you can't say that. Yes, I can. Because all of this stuff is just information. It's just knowledge. It's there. The only way that it becomes applicable in your life, the only way that it will benefit you is if you accept it. And by accepting, I mean accept the changes that it brings with it. We can't embrace Odinism and Wokenism. We can't embrace the gods and the goddesses and continue to have the same mindset that we've had before. We can't continue to participate or deal with anything that is of a criminal nature. And I know there's some of y'all who will sit back and say, oh, well, what person is doing is not necessarily criminal. Listen, we're not kids. We all understand what is criminal, what is not criminal. We understand what is right and what is not right. But when you became a wokenist or you became an Odinist, you accepted a way of life that was meant to elevate us, to evolve us as individuals. And from that, our tribes, our kindreds, our families, and hopefully our race. But we can't embrace wokenism and Odinism and keep the same gang banging or criminal mentality that we had. We can't keep rationalizing and saying, well, I'm only doing this to further my people. Before you make that kind of decision, you need to first look at, does the decision that I make, does it put me in jeopardy? B, does it put my family in jeopardy? C, does it put my tribe or kindred in jeopardy? And D, how does it reflect on everybody as a whole? These are things that we have to learn. One of the things that most people never understand when they embrace Odinism or they embrace wokenism is that you have to learn to think for two people at all times. You have to learn to think for yourself, and you have to learn to think for those who are around you. Because every decision that you make will be a reflection upon those who follow the exact same path you do. And for all of us who have been to prison, we should know better than most that our ultimate goal is to stay out of prison, not go back. We can't continue to rationalize doing things that are illegal and claim, oh, well, we have to have this to support our people. What's the sense of making all the money supporting your people if a RICO case comes down and all of y'all are in prison? No, you support your people, you support your family by getting out, getting a job, getting other people who come out, getting them jobs. You support your people by supporting your family, which is the foundation of everything we do. We can no longer continue to rationalize why we do things. Do we think that by us participating in things that are illegal, that we are somehow, in our twisted way of thinking, that we are providing for our family, that we're providing for our tribes, our kindreds, and in some far-fetched way of thinking, we're providing for our race? Well, let's stop and think about that. Okay, you go out, do illegal activity, you make money, you pay your rent, you take care of your kids, you do all this, you do all that. What happens if you get put in prison? Who takes care of your family now? Who raises your kids? Who takes care of the house? You see, you in prison. And let's be honest. Let's don't fool ourselves. How many of the so-called brothers and sisters you think you're cool with, how many of them do you think will step up and take care of that? Your son grows up. Your daughter grows up, goes to school, has family plays where the father and the mother are supposed to be there, birthday parties, whatever. And her father's never there. Now the mother is struggling. Now the mother has to turn to the Zog government for assistance. The very people that you claimed you was taken from are the very people that took you from your family, and now they're raising your kid. Your son no longer has the guidance that was necessary for him to become an educated young man. The daughter no longer has the mother to teach her how to become a woman. Why? Because we created excuses for the things that we did. As wokeness and odinists, it's time for us to stand up and do what we need to do to take care of our families, to do what we need to do to provide for our tribes. Us out here participating in illegal garbage that don't benefit nobody. Too many of our men and women have went to prison. And go back and look at every great organization that tried to walk that path of what's right versus criminality. Look at these organizations. Where are they at now? They're debunked. They're done. So why is it necessary for us to continue to try and walk down a path that has failed over and over and over? You want to be a leader? You want to be a productive member of your tribe? in your kindred, your family, then get a job. Support them. Be there for your kid. Be there for your son and your daughter's graduation. Grow old with your kids. Then, when your kids bury you, then you can say, I succeeded in life. I taught my kids the ways of the gods and the goddesses, and I taught my kids the ways of our ancestors, and I tried to teach my kids and give them the knowledge they would need to be successful and therefore carry on a legacy. Being in prison, this ain't the legacy that we want to leave our kids. Because let me tell you, unless you've been in prison, you don't know what it's like to lay on your bunk and cry at night because you wish you hadn't have made the decisions that you made. See, it's easy to stay on the streets and say, oh, well, I'm doing this for my family. But unless you've been behind them walls and unless you've been locked in that 6x9, you have no idea the loneliness and the pain that is brought upon you because of dumb, unfounded decisions that are made. And if you belong to a kindred or a tribe that is participating in that, know for a fact these tribes, these kindreds are not walking in the ways of our gods and our goddesses, and they're not walking in the ways of our ancestors, and they don't give a damn about our race. It's all about the money. It has always been that. If you don't like what I have to say, so be it. But until you've done 21 years in prison, 30, 40 years like some of my brothers have, and you've been away from your family that long, then maybe you want to take heed to what's being said. This is my positive thought for today. Could be right, could be wrong, but it's what I feel. Helsa, and as always, hold that heathen hammer high, and let's walk in the true light of the 14 words. Let's walk in the true light of the 88 precepts, and let's walk in the true light of the 9 noble virtues. Helsa.